Okay, so here we are a mile down the road from the pool that we just looked at, and we're going to look at a pool that we have installed. It was installed around the same time. This pool was put in 4 years ago, and I want you to take a look at the filter system. Number one, you can see that we use a 2-speed, 1.5 horsepower, 220 Pentair pump. And we have a cartridge filter, so you do not have to backwash the pool and you're not dumping chemicals out. The other thing that we've done with this is we put in 2-inch plumbing. As you can see, all hard pipe. This pool actually has a heat pump also. And here you see the salt generator that you've seen in other videos that we have done. And you can see how everything is mounted, nice and neat. And that's just some of the differences that you will see when you start comparing price versus quality. I can tell you that this customer is much happier with their pool than the one we just looked at. Now, this customer decided that they were going to go with a broom finish concrete. And you have to remember again that this deck is 4 years old. And again, there's a distinct difference between the workmanship. You can see that there's more saw cuts in this particular deck, which controls cracking. And this particular deck doesn't have any cracks in it for concrete, which is pretty exceptional. Has an automatic cover on the pool. What we're going to do is we're going to open that cover up, and I want to show you the finish to the pool. Okay, so I'm not trying to say that at river pools and spas that we're saints and we don't make any mistakes, because we do make our share of mistakes. But it's what you do after you make the mistake. It's a matter of whether you take ownership of your mistakes or not. It's called integrity. That's what helps us to be able to take every one of our customers and put them on our reference list. So when we sit down with you, we give you a reference list of 500 and some people. It's every pool that we put in. It's a requirement. We ask that you be on a reference list when we put that pool in. And most people, when they've had a good experience, do want to be on the reference list. And the ones that have had a bad experience would definitely want to be on the reference list. I have about a little over 1% of a negative response on my reference list. And out of 500 and some, that's not too bad. So, price and quality, hand in hand, can't separate them. And you've seen that. I didn't go out and I didn't go try to find a pool that was nasty looking and cheap looking in order to make this video. That was not my intent. I went out because I was called. The customer called me up, said, I have a problem with my pool. Can you help me with it? Went out and looked at it. We could fix the leaks. We did. Had to cut the concrete out. Had to fix the returns and replace them. And that's what we had to do to take care of the leaks. That was done because of poor installation. Now, the thing is, as far as fixing the gel coat, we can't help him there. So he's kind of stuck with that ugly pool. So the question you have to ask yourself is that what you want to be stuck with? Is that what you want to live with? Not only do you have to ask yourself, do I want to live with this? But there comes a time where you might want to sell your home. And when you go to sell your home, do you want to have a pool in your backyard that wasn't installed properly? A pool that the potential buyer looks at and thinks that that is the ugliest thing in the world, and there's no way that they're going to purchase that home because of that pool. That does happen. A lot of people will say pools take away from the value of the home. I can guarantee you that this pool that I'm standing at right now does not take away from the value of this home. It's a beautiful pool. Even with broom finished concrete, this pool is beautiful. Stamped concrete would have took it up another level, but that's okay. The fact remains it's a quality pool. Now, we're at the mercy of pool companies just like you are. When we do our research, we can only learn so much about pools. We also have to depend on the manufacturers. We've been to the plants, we've looked to see how they're made, and the first pools that we were putting in, they started out as being a high quality pool, but their standards went down. They lowered their standards. They started cutting costs. They started cutting corners in order to cut the cost. And so what they did was they started making a product that wasn't as well as it was maybe when we first started with them. And we recognized that. So we had to drop them. Just like you would drop a company if they weren't giving you service. You would get rid of that company. So we had to do the same thing. That cost us thousands of dollars, and I mean thousands and thousands of dollars to make that decision. But it was an integrity decision that we had to make. Now, we picked up a new manufacturer. We have full confidence in this manufacturer. One of the things that we see is that their response is much better with us when it comes to customer service. The other thing is that if the pool is damaged in any way, and we know because we dropped a spreader bar on one of our pools and it gouged the pool, it had to be repaired, you could not see the repair. It was non-existent. You didn't know where it was. You will not find that with any other fiberglass pool, unless it's a white pool or powder blue. Those are the only two that they could actually match up on the gel coats. But if you're going to go with color, then guess what? If it's any other manufacturer but Leisure, you're not going to be able to match those colors the way you want to match them. And that is what we've learned. So, what you have to look at as a homeowner and a potential pool purchaser is, what do I want? Do I want to go with the price and save some money, or do I want to have quality and go ahead and spend the money? No one has ever came to me, not once, in the 8 years that I've been in business, not one person has ever came to me and said, Jim, we spent too much money. Nobody. I have had people come to me and say, I wish we'd have spent more. I've had people come to me and say, I wish we'd have went with you. I've never had anyone come up and say, well, I think we did better by going with the other company. And I've talked to people that have gone with other companies, and I've also had them say to me, yeah, I believe we might have made a mistake. Wish we'd have went ahead and went with you.